We are giving you guys the opportunity to win this 7-inch tile saw absolutely free.
Free!
Yes, absolutely free. Hey friends, welcome back to the Talkin' Tile podcast, the official podcast of How to Tile Like a Pro. Check it out all over social media. It's booming, it's great. It's your source for all your tile needs. I'm your host, Frankie Martinez, and today I am so honored to have on the show the one, the only, Charly Delgado from Rubi Tools.
Hello everyone! Welcome to the podcast. Super exciting to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation and to let us be participating on this.
Yes, it's awesome, and Rubi Tools is a great company. It's been around for a while, and originally known for its cutting boards. As far as my memory goes, it's always been known for its cutting boards, but now they're like dominating the whole tool industry. I mean, you guys.
You're so kind.
Yeah, you guys have like tools for everything. So go ahead and introduce yourself. You're Charly Delgado.
It'll be my pleasure. Of course, it'll be my pleasure. So once again, yes, my name is Charly Delgado, and I'm with Rubi Tools USA. I'm in charge of the marketing department, and we're very excited to be doing really cool activations and promotions with, like you said it right, Frankie, we're launching new machines. We're incursionating into the electric tile cutters, and we've become that kind of brand that you want to think of when it's an innovation and in tools and all this cool stuff that we're developing for making the tile professionals make their work better and make it easier or make the process one that is enjoyable. And so a lot of these kind of details come into the conversation when we're developing new machines. And as you know, we give to our professionals the opportunity to test driving even before they actually come to the market. So full disclosure, we were super excited when you actually gave us the okay and the go ahead to collaborate with us on this new machine, the DT-7, a 7-inch blade tile electric cutter that we just came out with. We announced it through like the past year, and this year is officially here. It's finally out there in the market. Cool. Well, we asked you, Frankie, to actually test drive it, to try it, to see how it actually the wet soap actually works. And we're very excited. This summer we're doing something very cool. So why don't you tell our listeners what are we talking about?
Yes, well, thank you first of all for listening to the show, everybody. And before I tell you about this cool saw that I was able to test drive and use, but what's more exciting about me using the saw is we are giving you guys the opportunity to win this 7-inch tile saw absolutely free.
Free!
Yes, absolutely free. We are raffling it up. We teamed up with Rubi Tools and we are doing a giveaway raffle. And all you have to do is click the link in this description of this video or audio. If you're listening to the audio, the link is in there too. If you have trouble finding it, you can go find us on YouTube. But the link is there, and all you gotta do is click on the link, fill out your information, and you are automatically entered to win this brand new saw. But you gotta do it before July 31st, okay? So the cutoff. So hopefully you're listening to this or watching it before the 31st, because what a great opportunity to thank you, the listener, the audio hearer, to be able to win this great saw.
It is a special piece of equipment, not only because it's a 7-inch blade tile saw. It's a saw, it's a wet saw that has been designed to have enormous possibilities of transportation, portability. It's definitely a concept that we brought very, very strong for the design of this new machine. And this one is the sister one. There's actually two versions of the DT tile saw. It's the 10-inch and the 7-inch. So we came out with both models, the 7-inch blade and the 10-inch blade. The 7-inch blade is the special one we're giving away this summer. You said it right, Frank. It's got to be only until the end of the month. There's a very simple, easy registration on the click like you just mentioned before. And with that simple, putting your information there, register, and that will give you the chance to win this saw. It's a special piece of equipment for those professional tilers out there that are experiencing having to bring the equipment into sites, going indoors, outdoors. This machine can do it all. And in that sense, we put a lot of attention to details on how is it that you folks go through when you're having to work on cutting tile, right?
Yeah.
So the blade, the power of the motor, the portability of it. It's a model that was truly designed thinking of the American tiler, the professionals in our country that are experiencing projects when they're working with large formats, small format, like all kinds of different materials itself. So one of the things that most of the professionals know by now, it's important to change your blade accordingly to the material that you're cutting, right?
True.
Not only, yes, it's a very special machine as long as you use it with a proper blade. To cut the proper material that you're working with.
Gotcha.
So Rubi has all kinds of different premium blades. This DT-7, as you know, comes with a premium blade itself. The Arrowhead, it's a great diamond blade that we have that allows you to cut porcelain, ceramic, even sometimes even like natural stone.
Oh, nice.
With this type of blade, you know, your onesies or twiceies kind of cuts. Even so, at that moment, you can do it with this blade. Obviously, we have specific blades for specific materials, right? So if you're going to cut glass, you want to make sure that you're putting your 7-inch blade for glass. Your Rubi blade for miter cuts. It's a special. Not every blade can do a miter cut, right? So you got to make sure that this machine, the DT-7, allows you to do miter cuts as long as you have the proper blade. So Arrowhead is one of those. The one that it comes with is one of those that allows you to do those.
That's great.
I saw your video also where you get to test drive it. Tell me a little bit of your experience. How did you feel when you were cutting with it? How do you like it?
Yeah, well, first of all, I definitely love it. And this is kind of how it came into being, because I saw Bernie Romero, another Rubi rep. I love that guy. He's a great guy.
One of our best, great rep.
He was offering to give me a 10-inch blade, you know, but I'm like, oh, you know what, Bernie, I said, go. I don't really need that because I use 7-inch saws, you know. And then he goes, what? He goes, we have a new one coming out, you know? So he told me about the saw. So, personally, I use 7-inch saws day in, day out, all the time for the last at least 10 years probably, because I had 10-inch saws for many years before that, but they're just so big. They're so heavy, especially if you happen to be working alone or your helper's not there, someone's not there to help you lift it. Certain places, they're just so heavy.
10-inch saws are typically heavy or larger, bulky, right?
And so for me, and then sometimes, like, what I love about a 7-inch saw is you could stick it anywhere. Like if we're working in a bathroom, I'm working on a shower, I literally put it right next to the shower. So if I'm working alone, I don't have to walk but 2 feet to get to the saw and make some cuts. So yeah. But to me, what stood out about the Rubi DT-7, I personally have been using the rigid 7-inch from Home Depot, and it's a decent saw. I don't want to knock it 100% because I've used it for many years, mainly because the price point was nice, but when I realized that a 7-inch saw can do pretty much anything that a 10-inch saw can do, I'm like, why am I carrying around this big saw? There's no reason for it. I do have a giant saw though. I have the Rubi 250 DC. Yeah, I have that one. That's huge.
Phenomenal machine as well.
Yeah,
but it's big. It's bulky, right? It's a little. It can be transported as well. It's not that difficult, but it's true. It's not as portable as the DT models. So these DT models, like I said, it does come on the 10-inch blade, but this 7-inch blade version, it's pretty special. It comes in, as you know, because you play it already with it. It comes in 3 parts, so it's super easy to set up. Because it's the stand, the actual
tray,
chassis, or the tray, and then the actual chassis of the motor where the blade goes, right? So it's a very simple, easy to transport. Check out our YouTube channel, folks, on the Rubi Tools YouTube channel, and in Frankie's YouTube channel, of course. That's the best video where you can see it exactly. Where you got to show us a little bit of how it works, right? So definitely a great opportunity for everyone to get their hands into one of these machines. Truly, we're very proud of this new DT model, both of them, the 10 and the 7, but this one, the 7, this summer, this is your chance, folks, to have it for free. Of course, it's actually a blade that comes in a good price. I'm not going to lie. It's actually in a very comfortable price. but we're making it special this summer, especially
Yeah,
with the
that's
audience
great.
that are listening
Yes.
with you, Frankie, over here
Yes.
today.
Well, thank you, Rubi Tools, for doing that. Be so generous to give one of our listeners a free saw. That's amazing. So,
Yes.
but yeah. So what I noticed about the saw using it is it cuts. I think probably at least three things stand out the most for me. Is it's definitely more accurate. It's way more accurate because not only myself, but I know a lot of other people that use some of the 7-inch saws. And the biggest problem everybody has with a 7-inch saw, and if you've used another brand, you know this is true, is when you pull the tray all the way out, you're cutting a 2-foot tile, that tray wobbles. It goes to the left and to the right. And for me, that always gave it not as accurate as a cut because, and I plan to make a video to show a comparison because when you pull out the tray of a 7-inch saw, you pull it out, it comes out smooth, but then it gets kind of off the track slightly. And so it has a lot of sideways movement. But the Rubi DT-7 has no sideways movement. And so when I saw that, I go, oh, this is already so much better. Because then I tested it. I cut a very thin tile all the way through, 2 feet long. And sure enough, it was perfect. Not even a 16th off. So to me, that's the most important thing. You want to be accurate. You don't want to, I mean, I'd laugh. You'll probably laugh if I tell you what I used to do about other saws. I used to have like a 16-inch spacer to put it when I cut 2 foot to kind of tilt it so it would cut straight, you know.
To justify knowing that it's going to shift a tiny bit. So a couple of things actually. You're making a point very, very specific that is really important.
Yeah.
These new models, especially on this one, right? So you said it right. The table, it's a roller table.
Yeah.
So the rollers on the table, these specific new models, we pay very close attention to make the rollers a true professional machine looking and that performs the feel such a professional machine.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing it into the professional level in the sense that the rollers, like the actual parts of our roller tables on these new models is not your typical roller table. We really pay close attention to make the rollers high, the material itself to be, good resistance.
Yeah.
Again, as a roller table, it is important also to do the proper maintenance. And when you're setting up the machine, especially when it's brand new, let's say that when you're unboxing your tiles. Setup, it's an important step, obviously, to make sure that then your blade gets installed aligned, that it's going to give you that perfect cut because it got set up properly from the beginning. And this one is easy to do, but it's a roller table saw. So as a type of model that it is important always to do that little adjustments every once in a while. After 2-3 jobs, I always recommend to go back to your machine, clean it up after the end of the work and all that, and figure and check your rollers that the blade and that everything is still aligned. So we're actually gonna be working also on a couple of videos to let our listeners learn how to do these type of little tweaks, especially with machines that are new models like this, that has these little tricks that, like every other piece of machinery, you have to keep maintenance on it, but it also has its tricks to keep it running professionally and at the level that you expect on every single job. So the typical recommendations: clean up your saw at the end of the job, make sure that your equipment is maintained per se, so that it's always ready for the next job. So in a couple of tips and tricks to our listeners there, once you get your DT-7, make sure that obviously after a certain amount of jobs of cutting tile, after a certain amount of material run, that you do proper maintenance as well.
That's good. Well, I'm glad you're going to put those videos out because that'd be great to learn because I don't really know exactly how to maintain everything about it. So I'd love to watch those videos and learn a few things myself. So awesome.
Absolutely, we'll share them. We'll share them with everyone, of course.
Great. And then another thing I noticed about the DT-7 that really stood out to me is, first of all, it's very accurate because the tray does not shake. So that's huge. Second thing is it has extra amp of power than the one I was using. The one I was using was a 9 amp. This is a 10 amp, 6,000 RPM. And let me tell you something. Like I said, I've been using the other saw for about a good while. I could tell right away. As soon as I cut my first tile, I'm like, wow, This you could feel
You
it
feel it,
cuts.
right?
It cuts faster. It cuts very fast. So,
And time is money, my friend, right?
yes,
Especially in our industry. So
yeah,
those type of little
yeah,
details we play close attention, and we're very excited to
yeah,
finally have it out in the
yeah,
market, finally available also with all of your local distributors, your
yeah.
Ruby distributors. You're gonna be able to find this model also
Yeah.
available now.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, that's great. And then the last thing I think I noticed a big difference is
Mhm.
it's just it's way more sturdy. It's strong. It feels tougher. I like how thick the tray is. I was very impressed on how tall the tray is. The tray is pretty tall, but what that does is it doesn't flex at all. Like the other 7-inch saw I've used is very flimsy. It's very flimsy.
Mm.
I could just bend it by going like that. And so to me, I'm always like scared it's gonna break or something. But the Ruby one is very tough. It's very it doesn't bend at all. So it's a lot stronger. The actual arm that holds the motor is it feels like a solid
Solid. A
solid
solid
it's
piece.
very solid. Yeah. So those are the things
Good.
that make me have confidence that it's going to last a long time. It's pretty tough. It's built really tough. It has a stronger motor. It cuts really fast. And most importantly, it looks very accurate. It cuts perfect tiles. So to me, it's just, it's a great price point too. It's literally half the price of a 10-inch saw. Most 10-inch saws are about $1,000, and this is
Right. Depending on the
retailing
model,
for
you're
about
absolutely right.
$500. So I'm like, that's a steal, man. It's a great. I honestly, I know this is guys that probably love their 10-inch saws, but I'm telling you, once you go to a 7-inch saw, I don't know if you'd ever go back because it's just, except the DT-10 that you guys have. The biggest impressive point I loved about that saw is the optional tray that adds on.
Yes, so we're coming up with accessories, let's call it, right?
Yeah.
These are brand new models of tile saws. So we're also offering some specific accessories for this
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
model of machines. And yes, the DT-10, we're working on this extension table
Oh, so it's
that is
not
going
out
to
yet.
allow you. It's not out there yet,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
kind of
Gotcha.
part of the designs that we're actually
Yeah.
putting together
Gotcha.
and launching the machine, obviously,
Yeah.
to have the proper accessories for it. So
Yeah.
it is going to be available very soon. Is one of the
Yeah.
improvements that
Nice.
we're already working on. That's why you've actually
Yeah.
heard and
Yeah.
saw it probably on the
Yeah.
last show.
Yeah.
And well, full disclosure, that's what another quick announcement that I wanted to do is we're
Yeah.
going to be showing this DT-7 now. Well, we presented it very recently in coverings for those of you who were able to go to the show in Las Vegas.
Mm.
And then coming up in October, there's going to be another show where we're going to be
Mm.
participating with Rubi Tools, and we're going to be presenting the DT-7 and the DT-10 as well.
Wow.
This is going to be in Louisville, Kentucky.
Nice.
It's the hardscape show for those stylers who are more on the landscaping exterior kind of construction and
Gotcha.
design of tile for exteriors, for
Yeah.
terraces, for rooftops, you name it,
Nice.
anything
Yeah.
landscaping related. We've discovered that Rubi Tools has a really good product line that could be very dedicated to that niche. So
Wow.
we're gonna start knocking on doors
Nice.
with that part of the industry that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
also very important, is doing a great job, and that it can work with these type of portable machines, right?
Yes.
So a professional machine that you can
Yeah.
bring onto site, and
Yeah.
on site you can adapt a little bit of your surroundings, the area,
Yeah.
or the work of the project that you're doing, right? So
Yeah.
a couple of ideas there. So that's the type of extension
Yeah.
that you eventually are going to be able to get
Yes.
as well. So and a lot of the blades itself. No, so Ruby
Yeah.
has a really good gamut of different types of premium blades. So for you to choose from. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I think
excited that this summer our folks are able to start to use these professional
Yeah.
machines and to get the proper training from our own reps, right? So the
Yeah.
Ruby reps are visiting most of the distributors. So in your local favorite distributor in your region,
Yes.
check out with them, because if it's not a Ruby rep, the distributor itself will have all of the machines and all the information that they need to be able to get their hands on one of them.
So I had a few of my followers ask me where they can get one of these saws. So if they go on the Ruby website, can they find a distributor?
It's very simple, yes.
Yeah,
So in
okay.
our website, if you go strictly to the website, we have a landing page ready. So it has a button that says where to buy. You click on it
Perfect.
and you just let us know. It's important, a couple of things or details that we need to learn in order to direct you to the proper distributor. As long as you
Gotcha.
tell us your zip code or the
Yeah.
region on the country where you at,
Gotcha.
that's all that we need.
Perfect.
Obviously, a
Yeah.
phone number and email so that we can contact you back
Yeah.
to let you know what's the distributor that is closest to you, of course.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Well, that's good to know. Good to know. Well, there you guys go. Go onto the Rubi website, put in your zip code. You can find out where to get these great tools. And like I said, Rubi's always had a great reputation. You know, great reputation with the cutting boards. And now you can definitely feel that Rubi quality on the tile saw. I mean, just the tray itself. I love how it's almost like a deep dish pizza, you know, the ledge of the tray. It's very thick for if you cut thicker tile, it supports it really well. Where the other ones I've used are very thin. So it's just, there's a lot of, go ahead.
The thickness that you just mentioned is important because the machine, this DT-7 model has a plunge effect, right? So you can actually put the level according to the thickness of the material that you're working or you're planning to cut. So the tray has that kind of little details that got into the design, right? Yeah. That because you can plunge your blade to the thickness of the height of the thickness of the material you're cutting.
Yeah.
That comes with that type of feature that the machine has, and so that again comes back to the importance of the thickness of the material that you're going to be working with, because in a way that also kind of determines the blade as well, right? So you want to be using the proper blade, and also choosing the way to cut it. If you need to do a linear cut, if you have a diagonal cut, you have the accessory that comes with it as well that allows you to do those type of cuts. And well, again, our forte, as you said it right, is the tile cutters, and from manual to electric, and these electric new versions are coming with an incredible list of features that everyone's gonna love. We're hoping that every tiler professional is going to love.
Well, it's funny because I did get a comment or two probably on some of my social media accounts. Well, they say, well, it looks like every other 7-inch saw. What's the difference? It looks like every saw. And I'm like, okay, because most 7-inch saws, they can do miters, they can do plunge cuts. They're small, they're lightweight.
They have to, It's almost like they should.
That's the point of a 7-inch saw and the versatility of all the different cuts. But I think the biggest difference using them both is the quality and the minor details that make a big difference. Even in the tray itself, I love how it's kind of sectioned off as the water drains. You have little blocks on the tray. The tray is all sloped, and I love how it drains right in the middle. Because some of them drain on the side. It's right in the middle.
Not the mess that you're accustomed to see with this type of machine. Right?
I don't know why people put it on the side, but I love that it's right in the middle. So there's these tons of details in the saw that you'll experience by using it, trying it out, checking it out at a tile store near you that has it on display maybe, or look at our videos, because I try to go in detail and show you all these cool little details that to me make it really stand apart. And of course, the quality of the product and the quality of the cuts and all that, that's the most important thing to me,
Absolutely. And also let your listeners know that if they contact you or us directly through our social channels, of course, since we're working together on these collaborations, they can contact you as well and we'll help them. Let them know that obviously we can also be that liaison, that connection to not only where to find it, but like if they want to test drive it, or if they're going to find where they can see it, what show it's going to be presented on or something. Well, obviously we're always trying to keep everyone informed in our socials. But please, we're here obviously to help. So any questions or any kind of doubts about the machine specifically, contact us, let us know, because we can help.
Awesome. And like I said, Rubi has got its quality, but the funny thing I found out through Bernie Romero, I did not know that Rubi actually made the very first manual tile cutter.
That's correct. So since 1951, the brothers who are the beginners of this adventure, right?
Wow.
The German Boada brothers are the creators of the first scoring wheel and the first manual cutter.
That's amazing.
Which is all where it started. And yes, indeed now, well, as you know, we have several types of scoring wheels out there, the Endure, the Extreme. These are like super high-end rollers or scoring wheels, and all compatible with all the different models of our manual cutters. But then we jump into the electric, and like when the power is there, there's a motor, there's electric. It makes life easier. But
I think you need both. I think you need both of them,
true.
Right?
Very true.
You need a manual cutter and a saw. You know, I use the manual cutter. I use them both on almost every project. I have them both. Some cuts you could just cut really quick on the manual cutter. Certain stuff, you know, like stone don't cut too well on the manual cutter, so you got to use electric. You know, and
or depending on the size, right, or your formats. A lot of tilers nowadays are working with large format and slabs, like literally sizes of slabs. No, you're looking at your panels that are 4 feet by 8 feet, 5 feet by 10 feet, even sometimes. So these huge pieces, there's a whole product line, of course, dedicated specifically for slab system, right? And Rubi has that. And so you're right. There's the manual cutter for slabs. No, we have a Slim Cutter Plus, we call it, which is this specific rulina that comes with an actual handle roller, specifically in the channels. You've seen it before. There's several out there in the market. Our Rubi version of it, it's very, very good, very accurate. And then, of course, then you have your tile saws, right? And for large format, the TC-125, people have seen it. It's very portable, easy. So it's true. The debate of the conversation, am I going to have to use a manual, or is it better to use the electric? It depends on your project, right? You typically want to have both at hand because the job always comes up with surprises, and you never know which one is going to do the job better, faster, or just properly done.
Yes, true.
And that's where you guys, the professionals, get to make those decisions. And we try to make that decision making easier by making our machines, to play the part and to race to the occasion. So depending on your project, of course, not so.
Very cool. Very cool. I am super excited to let a lot of other people find out about the DT-7. It's brand new. It's out there now. I see a couple people buying them, and go ahead.
I was going to mention, you guys can see it in action as well. We'll play a video here if we could, but please go to the YouTube channel and check it out. Obviously, check Frankie using it because he makes the best demonstration, of course, of it. But we also have it over there. And I'm assuming that the listeners want to know and see it in action. You can do that. Just visit our website, go directly click on the YouTube channels and check out our videos because you did an incredible one, my sir.
Oh, well, thank you, my friend. And it's a really great saw. It's my new daily saw. I'm using it all the time. And
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm very happy with it. It's a great saw. And before we leave, tell everyone about Club Rubi. What's that all about?
Oh, absolutely. Well, this is an actual app that we've developed for all the professional tilers to be able to register their Rubi product. And there's two pluses that you get by becoming a member of the Rubi Club. The first one is, of course, you get an incredible inventory of all of your Rubi products, all of your Rubi tools by registering on the app. That's going to give you two perks. The first one, better warranty. So just by registering your product, that extends your normal warranty into a special members-only warranty. So if you buy a Rubi tile saw, you want to have it registered on the app, just for the simple fact that you get a better warranty, just for that. And then, of course, with that, they collect points. So we give our members points based on the value of the product that they bought. So anything you register gives you a certain amount of points. Those points you collect through the year, and we give you folks 2 times a year an opportunity to redeem those points. Think about it as an opportunity to get a rebate on anything you buy Rubi. At the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, we typically do like summer. We just passed we just passed the last month, but we're giving you folks 2 opportunities per year to redeem your points. So you get money back.
Does that count for the Rubi spacers and everything, or it's just the power tools?
Rubi product, anything that has a reference number under the brand of Rubi. And well, here's a tip: if you go to the website, the Rubi website, and you are actually looking at an actual product, typically you'll see that on the website it announces the number of points that you collect collect when you register that.
I'm gonna go back. I just bought a big old box of those leveling spacers, like the
fantastic, yes,
huge box, and so I'm gonna see if I register it. Hopefully, it's not too late.
That one is specifically just for the points itself, right? Because you definitely want to collect those points. And then again, that's money back to you on anything Ruby that you purchase. So those two things. And then of course the app has really great tools, Frankie. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you go to the actual leveling systems, so your app is going to be an incredible digital catalog at your fingertips.
Oh, cool.
That's the best possible. Think about it. Like you just literally click on it and whatever product Ruby you find in the app, that's your best catalog. And we keep updating it, by the way. So
nice.
The most updated catalog, by the way, it's in the Ruby app.
Hey, and there you go.
With that, what I wanted to say is you find out the points, you find out about your warranties, and then of course all the information on the product over there. But on the Delta leveling system or the Cyclone, let's say that you're figuring out how much leveling, how many clips you need to buy.
Gotcha.
Well, what's the square footage that you're working with? So right there on the app, you can put the square footage of the area that you're working on, and the system tells you how much of the actual clips you need to buy for that space. So it helps you to do that calculation of to calculate and figure out the quantity of how much you need to buy accordingly to the project that you're working on. So whatever square footage you're going to work with, the system tells you, so you should consider this much of your levels. So little tools like that we're putting there in the app for the professionals to take advantage of. So it's, again, a very simple way to get it. Download it in your smartphone. You can download it on both if you have an iPhone or an Android. And once you have the app on your phone, just create a membership. It's super easy. It's just putting your information in there. It's a quick registration. And from there on, you're in. You're a member of the club.
Yeah, nice. Well, I haven't downloaded the app yet, I'll be honest. So I'll make sure I do that. And I'll put a link in the description to join Club Ruby as well. So that'll be very cool. Great. Well, I'm telling you, it's a great saw. And before we go, guys, do not forget, click to join the giveaway before July 31st. I'm so excited about that. When are they announcing the winner?
The day right after. So on the 31st is our deadline. So on the 1st, the next day, we're announcing the winner.
Awesome. Well, follow us on How to Talk Like a Pro everywhere, and I will be announcing whoever that winner is too, and it's going to be very exciting. And your Instagram is CD. What is it?
Well, I have a CDG Ruby. That's my personal CDG Ruby.
Okay.
And of course, Rubi Tools.
Ruby. Okay. CDG Ruby, and the official is Rubi Tools. So that way you can get in contact with Charly. If you have any questions, go ahead and DM him, reach out to him personally. And he's a great guy. I think you'll enjoy his service, and a great company, Rubi Tools. I'm so impressed with them. And I'm looking forward to all the new tools and stuff. You guys are always innovating. So that's what I love about it. Always innovating.
That's true. That's exactly the goal. And there's a few more new products behind our sleeve for this end of the year.
Let's go.
Get ready. We're going to be shooting you some stuff.
Looking forward to it. All right. Well, thank you again, Charly, for joining the Talk and Tile podcast.
It's been great. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome, guys. And our listeners, make sure you join that giveaway. I hope you win. And if you don't, I'd say buy one anyway, because it's going to be your favorite saw. Trust me, it's my favorite saw. I'm using it all the time, and it's a great saw. So thanks again for listening, guys. We'll see you next time on the Talk and Tile podcast. Bye.
Thank you.